Fair warning today, everybody. This one, it's a little bit different. Hello and welcome, everybody. Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV here with a brand new floor plan, a new member of the 15 series of Rockwood and Flagstaff GeoPro E-Pros. And this model, I tried to record it yesterday. That's why I'm here so early. That's why the sun's not even up yet, because I couldn't get in the thing to record it. Now, to be fair, a little trailer like this, it frankly only takes one or two people to prevent me from being able to do what I do. But I wanted to come down here the very next morning to make sure I got this footage for you before they tore down the display. This is a really interesting kind of twisted model. If you've watched my channel before, you've seen things from like Sunset Park or Cherokee with these rear entry doors. And, you know, as opposed to a side door, it really kind of twists the floor plan around on its head, and it's very much like a towable truck camper. But in typical Rockstaff doing Rockstaff things, they found a way to 180 twist it, roll it over, flip it, and reverse it. And what they've done here is they've brought something back that I haven't seen in a really long time. It's a Murphy dinette. And normally the concept sounds neat until you kind of see it done in application. This one sort of works for the space. Here's the thing. It's an east-west bed that you have to crawl in, and that right there is an instant deal breaker for folks. I know, I get it. But here's how you have to wrap your head around this floor plan. It's the size of something like their 15 TB, like it's only like 17 feet, I think, tip to tail, or maybe less than that. I gotta double check the specs. Anyway, but it gives us a bed and dining and a kitchen and a dry bath with a separate toilet and shower, and not a wet bath wombo combo like you find in, say, the 15 RD, the 15 TB, the other really small GeoPros. This actually has a separate toilet and shower. And the unique layout of this one with that back entry door actually allows you to like load cargo right up the, it's a cargooscopy right up the backside of this thing. Now this is a tiny camper, and I don't like to use wide angle lenses, so I really kind of want to start all the way back here, so you really got a feel for the whole flow and the whole layout of this thing. Again, it's very much like a towable truck camper kind of floor plan. Actually, I said again, I don't think I've mentioned that. I've thought it like 13 times so far, but I don't think I've spoken it out loud. Carpetless, ventless, easy cleaning, really pet-friendly kind of situation right here. But it is definitely a smaller space inside. Now up top, you do have a full-size air conditioner, so if you want to be breathing icicles in this little bitty box, you basically can. And it's one of those things where maybe a lot of things in the RV aren't like the most direct and convenient and obvious from what you would kind of want. But remember, this thing's less than 16 foot long. I think when the video began, I said something like 17, but it's just less than 16 foot tip to tail. From the front of that coupler to the back of this sucker, she's small. Now, it's this, you know, Murphy dinette thing. I've seen Rockwood and Flagstaff dabble with this one time in the past, but it was in a much bigger RV where I'm not sure it made the most sense. In a little camper like this, like anything in a small camper has to serve at least two purposes, if not more. And like how you have that free floating table right there. It's lightweight, it's easy to move. You can fold that down, and obviously, you know, that can become the base under your Murphy bed. But the funny thing is, your dinette benches are a welded aluminum cage, and when I demonstrate this, you'll actually see I don't put the table under it when I fold it down for a sleeper because it doesn't need to be there. I think the table is best folded down for travel purposes, but for sleeping, I would just fold the table up and slide it off to the side, and that really kind of drives home the fact that you can use it like a little bit of a picnic table. Now, naturally, it's an east-west crawl in the bed, but it's a very short, lightweight little model. But the little devil in the details, like when you wrap around the corner, they still added these little stands. They still added power outlets. And you're going to see other like smart USB outlet placement as we go through the... Whoa. Hang on. Wait a minute. What? What? That's not like the typical stapled, like cardboard with staples and fabric wrapped on it. I like that. I just like something that just feels a little bit stronger and a bit more robust. I'm okay with that. Now, the lightweight, small size of the RV, part of where you see some of that is actually in the sidewall height. This is a 6'1" sidewall, but it has a pair of 2.5-inch mini barreled roof segments that marry up in the middle. That's why there's this trim seam right here. It's actually 2 chunks of roof. It is seamless on the outside. You only have that little seam on the inside because there's a one-piece roof cover that goes on top of it. But it gives us plenty of headroom to walk around in this. It will become a bit of a problem when I stand in the shower. We'll see that in a little bit. But to kind of showcase all the little features and function of this thing right here, getting that table out of the way, first and foremost, nothing says you have to use it like that table. It could just be kind of like a front open lounge. And they do have the blackout roller shades through this entire thing right here, which is kind of nice. Also, this bed, it locks in place. It locks both up and down, which I really like. But I do want to mention, it's not a true queen bed size. In a little camper like this, you often end up with little bedding, and this is no exception to that rule. The thing is, though, the little details, like it does still have a blackout roller shade for the front window instead of a pleated shade like with the little string draws. But there's the little magnet holds on the bottom so that, you know, it's not like constantly dangling over you at night. It's just those little thoughtful details that they include in these that are very uncommon in the world of small campers that I really like what they're doing here. Now, they also go with a very light and bright color palette and lighting that has very high lumen ratings, bright lighting, basically, in simple English. And then around this corner, also some household and USB outlets, either for bedside, seat side, or bonus little kitchen outlets. And you'll get to see in the kitchen, there's like a little wireless charge pad station that also is a pop-up power tower. Now, part of me wants to say I sort of wish they put some cabinets up there, but I'm wondering if that might be a little bit tricky with the fold-down Murphy bed. I don't know that. I'm just kind of estimating a little bit here. Now, the ovens that you see in this, first of all, it's a bigger oven than what you even get in a lot of fifth wheels. But those are standard. And where a lot of manufacturers have been peeling ovens out of RVs, they have recently standardized it. Now, that's a conventional microwave that we're going to see opened up in just a minute, but a convection microwave is also available. One of the other things that I like about these is how they're very good about their whole 12-volt appliance suite, basically. So starting with the TV, that is a 12-volt TV soundbar combo. And, you know, that can obviously twist around to give you some easy viewing here from, well, either the bed or part of the dinette. If you're stuck inside on just a monsoon kind of day, you could kind of make that work. But things like their power outlets also have a inverter standardized on this RV. And recently here, for this season, they've standardized a larger 1,800 watt inverter as opposed to the previous 1,000 watt inverter, which was still 1,000 watts more than what most brands gave you. Every household outlet in this RV is wired to that inverter. But the 1,800 watt inverter, with that, the big difference there is you'll typically be able to run coffee makers now, which typically you could not do before. And for a small RV, I think they did a pretty good job of the kitchen, and I think part of it is because they put the kitchen all along one side of the RV, and then they put a, I guess you call it a split bath over on the other side of the RV. And this is weird. I get it. This is very weird. And I think a lot of people look at this and say, what are you supposed to do if you have a family in this? I think it's really important to kind of remember this RV is intended as a solo or couples model. And a couple who probably know one another biblically, I'll say, you know, something where there's not a whole lot of secrets between you, because there's not a whole lot of secrets to be had in this camper, basically. So, obviously, it's a little bit weird, it seems like, to just have like an open air shower. Obviously, it does have a privacy curtain right there, but just to kind of really maximize the space, because you don't really see a lot of hanging storage, there's going to be a lot of people that don't even care that this thing has a bathroom or a shower. They're just going to use the park facilities. So as you see right here, they included that like hanging wardrobe to allow this to kind of double as closet space. But they, you know, that can obviously get out of the way to be used as a shower. The catch-22 with that, if you're using it in shower mode and you're a little over 6 foot like me, not only is your head in the skylight, but my peach fuzz is grating against the skylight itself, because these are, they do have that shorter sidewall. Something I was glad to see, though, They did maintain that big XL vent fan, and that's also the reason they use this little, what I call peekaboo, I smell you door. Because with their frameless windows, they don't get amazing airflow. That big fan helps overcome that deficiency, essentially, and give us better airflow at your destination, about a 6-mile-an-hour breeze. And so if you read the specs on these RVs, you get conflicting information. You might notice it's really tight against my elbow. That's because this is only a 7-foot wide body. The axle is 7 foot 4 inches. That's why you have the little fender flare that sticks out past the body of the RV. And you may have noticed that was obviously very tight on me. I did not have, personally, amazing elbow room in there. But once again, when you're in a little camper, you got to make certain concessions and accommodations to make it all work. But something that this group is really good about is always giving you the ability at your discretion to wash your bathroom hands in the bathroom and not the kitchen. To accomplish that, they needed to use one of these little folding sinks, which I love the concept of it. Some people think they look cheap because it's plastic. I get it, that's fine. I will say though, their spout is all the way at the top of that sink instead of like swinging down. And my wonder is, against a sink like that, I think you may run into some water splatter. I tried to find a way to avoid using the word splatter in relation to the bathroom. Unfortunately, I just, I did not think of one. Now, towing one of these little things, that's one of its great qualities because it's less than 16 foot total length, tip to tail, and not super duper awful heavy. Some tow package SUVs say things like mid-size pickups will often find this within their safe capacities. And obviously, the bigger your vehicle, the easier and more comfortable that towing experience is going to be from there. It gives it a weird look. It always kind of like jars me when I don't see a campsite door on this. But that also means that they had more room for windows, and they could position the window so it wasn't fighting the already small awning, because it's already a small trailer. If they tried to shrink things down anymore, it would be problematic. Now, interesting construction note, they actually do a 1-inch laminated wall even behind their nose cap for some basically construction consistency. And if you want to learn more about how these are actually put together and built, I have a full GeoPro Pro factory video tour where you can kind of see them come together from the ground up. Things like that, different kind of roof construction and whatnot. The front window is actually a windshield. That's a very key important difference because it's a, well, first of all, it's a bonded glass, so it's just, thicker, stronger. But it's an automotive windshield, just like you have on your vehicle. It just is far more impact resistant as a result. Now, even though this thing's really small, they still put 4-corner stabilizer jacks on it, even using the quick drop stabilizers, those new stabilizers that have their own little stability bar built in. And that's kind of the thing. That's Rockstaff doing Rockstaff things, baby. They always do a +1 more than pretty much anybody else in a remotely comparable kind of class. That's just the way that they work things out. Now, under the campsite dinette bench, you do have some storage, but notice the aluminum construction under that. That's something else that you can kind of learn in our factory video tour. Anything that is structural or load-bearing from this group, they will build with a welded aluminum cage that they make in-house, which I think is kind of cool. Now, obviously, you got your little outside griddle place right there. Just behind that rear tire, you do, of course, have the propane cooker hooker, as I like to refer to it. And the awning does have LED lighting on it. And if you look up top, you might notice that's a little bit of a more lower profile air conditioner. These have very low exterior heights overall, all things considered. Up top there, you've also got a base 200 watts of factory solar. You can double that from the factory, or we could slap on a second panel for you, or you could, DIY it if you're so inclined. You could do all that kind of stuff yourself. And once again, the rear wall mounted door allows you to do some different things. Like, you may have noticed how I took the table that was normally inside the RV and brought it outside for picnic time. But for, travel and cargo mode, you can also see that, like, from the base of that Murphy bed all the way to the back door, you've just got wide open cargo space. So if you've got like a kayak or something like that, maybe throw like a piece of carpet or rubber mat down or something, I don't know. But like, you could load cargo right up the belly of this. Oh, I just noticed it. They still have their rear receiver hitch on these. Now, the thing with that is if you like put a bike rack or something on the back of this, you're gonna have to take it off before you can get in and out of the camper. But it's a small RV, and when they start packing 10 pounds of sugar into a 5-pound sack, sometimes things overlap. I love the fact that they just didn't cut the corner, that they kept doing everything very consistently. This is also one of the very few models that doesn't have an affixed ladder, partially because of all the stuff that you have going on the back wall of this, but it does still come with the telescopic removable ladder. They don't make you like go buy that separately for extra dollars, you know. You got the MaxxAir kind of vent cover up top there over that big bathroom vent fan, which again is a dry bath. Underneath it's not fully enclosed, but it does have holding tank heaters to give you a little bit of, you know, extended season peace of mind protection. It is also a single sewer outlet, which is nice on a little camper like this. It would make most sense that they plumbed everything together, which obviously they did. They have maintained a gas and electric water heater on these. I don't personally boondock a lot, but what I've gathered from a lot of my boondocking video commenters is that that is a more preferable option for boondocking, because it just tends to get the hot water where you want it, when you want it, without flushing unnecessary water into your gray tank. So let me know what you think about this. I can see some people saying this floor plan is terrible, and I can see some people going, finally, somebody made the floor plan I've been dreaming of. I think it could make a really good solo camping floor plan, maybe something for really cozy honeymooning type campers. It just sort of depends. I will leave you links in the video description to check for pricing and availability, of course, so you can see where we have one parked and what we're asking on a given day, with its specific shipping cost and options. And as you can see, I got a whole lot more work to do today, so lots of good stuff coming. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to catch us on the next one. Until then, though, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.